When remodeling or building, a classic question arises that can completely change the direction of your project. Should you choose traditional plaster molding or opt for modern drywall? This decision directly impacts your budget, project timeline, and even the aesthetic result of the room. Let's analyze the key factors that should guide your decision. If you value an impeccable finish, stick around because traditional plaster will surprise you. It achieves a result that drywall simply cannot match. It is mainly used for ceilings, crown moldings, and decorative finishes molded directly on-site. Smooth plaster applied to the surface creates a seamless, perfectly flat finish with no visible joints. It is the ideal option for leveling old walls and creating sophisticated ceiling details. However, the process requires patience and skill. Solid plaster structures, such as crown moldings and decorative trim, are significantly heavier per square meter, requiring a much more robust ceiling attachment to ensure safety. Additionally, applying smooth plaster requires highly specialized labor and a long drying time between coats, slowing down the project schedule. Another critical point is the material sensitivity. Standard plaster has very low moisture resistance, meaning it is not recommended for wet areas like bathrooms and laundry rooms without very specific treatment. Furthermore, once applied, molded plaster is difficult to remove without breaking the entire finish, requiring you to start over from scratch if you want to change the layout. But the market has evolved, and you will be surprised by how quickly drywall solves this. This gypsum board system is used to build entire partition walls and ceilings with incredible speed. A drywall wall can be assembled in just a few days by securing prefabricated panels to a strong metal frame, without having to wait weeks for the curing time required by traditional masonry. The system's lightweight nature is one of its greatest advantages in construction. Drywall is much lighter than conventional masonry, as it uses a thin gypsum board covered in paperboard over galvanized steel profiles. In addition, drywall walls can be easily disassembled and reassembled in a different position, since they are secured by screws, eliminating the need for structural demolition. For wet areas, there are specific green, moisture-resistant drywall boards, allowing safe use in bathrooms and kitchens. However, the finishing requires attention. The boards leave joints between panels that must be treated with joint tape and compound before painting. Without this careful process, the surface will not look like a single seamless wall. With so many physical differences, how do the two materials perform in day-to-day use? The answer might not be what you expect. While traditional plaster shines in seamless finishes and decorative moldings, it comes at the cost of project time and mess. Drywall offers clean, fast, and highly reversible assembly, ideal for partitions, but it requires rigorous joint treatment and specific attention to acoustic insulation. To make the right choice, evaluate your immediate priorities. If your goal is to create complex decorative crown moldings on the ceiling, or if you require a perfectly flat ceiling without any risk of visible seams, traditional molded plaster is unbeatable. But if you need to put up a new partition wall quickly or want a clean, moisture-free build, drywall is the logical choice. There is a technical detail hidden inside the walls that you need to know before signing the contract. Do you already know this, or are you about to be caught off guard in a renovation? Both drywall and plaster allow electrical wiring and plumbing to be easily concealed. However, the acoustic performance of drywall directly depends on using internal insulation. Without proper fiberglass or rock wool batting, the sound insulation will be inferior to that of standard masonry. Another important differentiator for drywall is active safety. There are specific fire-resistant rated boards, often known as pink boards. They contain special additives in their formula that actively delay the spread of flames in the event of a fire. This type of technical, certified protection has no direct or practical equivalent in traditional molded plaster. Ultimately, there is no better material. There is only the one that fits your timeline and your project. Molded plaster is artisanal, focusing on aesthetic details and a seamless finish. Drywall is industrialized engineering, focusing on speed, layout flexibility, and specific technical solutions for moisture, fire, and structural weight. As someone who has been through stressful renovations, I highly value practicality and speed. Although traditional plaster offers that seamless, flawless ceiling finish that everyone loves, I would choose drywall. The ability to assemble a wall cleanly in a few days and easily disassemble it in the future without damaging the home's structure offers unbeatable value. Now I want to know your opinion. If you were starting a renovation in your home today, would you prefer the speed and versatility of drywall or the aesthetic perfection of traditional plaster? Leave your choice in the comments below to add to the discussion.